I don't even know where to look at. Okay, I'm probably gonna look there. I assume so. Anyways. If my hair will just stop being frizzy and stop acting out, that would be lovely. Okay, so today I'm gonna try to recreate this look. It's like a brown and blue look that I think would be fun to recreate. The very first step, I want to be able to prime my skin. So I'm gonna just pull over my makeup cart here. It is winter and it's really fucking dry in Australia, and I do have this vitamin Enriched Bobbi Brown primer that I think will work a bit better. So I'm gonna start off with that, get a bit of the product. Just to introduce myself, because I've never done these videos before. My name is Lena. How old am I? 27. I'm 27. I'm from Russia. So I was raised in Russia, but I am Vietnamese, so both of my parents are Vietnamese. So I'll be doing some of these videos in both Russian and Vietnamese in the future. So after the facial primer, you're gonna go with your eye primer as well. So going with the eye primer will make sure your eyeshadow is locked in. I'm gonna go with my base brush, so just like a regular kind of rounded brush that you can use to pack the color on and then blend it out as well. So I'll go with like a base color first, just to make sure that my eyelids are covered with a somewhat neutral color. So I'm using this color right here. I literally pack it on, like tap it, and then I kind of like go in circular motions to blend it out. And I always try to get my eyelids done first. That way I can then build a makeup around it. So after that, I'm gonna go in with a darker shade of brown. And I'm gonna go in with this shade right there. That seems like a pretty cool tone brown, which is kind of what I'm looking. At this time, I'm gonna pack it in the corners of my eyelids. So I'm kind of doing the same motion of packing it in the corner and then blending it out with the round motions. Look like a panda, but just the process, just the process. So I might pick up a lighter color, like a more base color, and then pack it out with that color. In the same palette, but this color instead. To do so, I'm just gonna try to place it above where the dark color is to buff it out. Well, all you're doing is you're just blending in that rough color or a really dark color into your natural skin color. So then, using kind of the build up on the brush, I'm just gonna kind of go in and blend everything together with a light motion. Just like so. So for the next step, I'm actually gonna be doing a little cut crease. So I'm gonna be using my concealer, if I can find it. How I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna use a flat concealer brush like this one. Before I go in with the brush, I might just do 2 dots on my eyelid, so like this. And then open my eyes really wide to try to figure out where do I draw the concealer to. So you see, it then outlines where I should be aiming for the concealer. And then I'm gonna go in with a brush and then kind of just draw it out. just like that. No, it's a bit wonky, but you're gonna blend it out. It's just to process a little bit. And again, pack it on top just to lock the concealer in. A little bit of concealer goes a long way, so you don't want to use too much. So. Hello, Momo. Now I'm gonna go in with the blue. So again, very lightly gonna get the blue and pack it on top of the cut crease. I'm gonna go with the baby blue right here, this one. And for this, I'm gonna be using a bit of a flatter brush. So it's a bit flatter, and that way I can control the like area that I'm putting on this color on better. Again, trust the process and how to blend it out. I'll take the same brush that I used for the brown to kind of blend the two together with the same circular motion. Sometimes it helps, instead of circular, you're gonna drag up and down just on that end of where your concealer is, just to conceal the concealer. So now you can kind of see that it's blended in the blue and the brown together a bit more. I like to use the brown and to go lightly over the end of the blue as well, just to make sure the transition is very clean. Now that that's done, what I usually like to do is to add a bit of glitter on top of where the cut crease is, just to define it a bit more. Two things that I like to do is I'll get two glitter products, glitter palette like that, and also a glitter liner. So with the glitter powder, I'll use a flat eyeshadow brush, so a very flat one, as you can see, and I'll pick up one of the glitters that I find the most suitable. In this case, it's probably going to be the white glitter that I usually put over the cooler eyeshadows. So I'll just kind of pack it on like so. Mainly focusing on that blue area. So now you can see it kind of like highlights the blue area. Then with the liner, I'll then cut where the cut crease line is, just to define it extra. So very subtle, but it just makes your crease look a lot more defined if you look at the comparison. Now I'm going to go in with the eyeliner. I'm going to be using a white liner first, actually. So it looks a bit crazy, but I'm just going to trust the process. Now I'm going to go in with the black eyeliner on top. Again, if I can find it. Okay, well, I don't think I'm ever gonna use white eyeliner ever again, except for just for the bottom bits, because that was crazy. Now my lashes are all messed up, but that's fine. We can go over with mascara. Now we can move on to the face. What I like to go with first is color correction. So using this palette right here, it's because I've got a lot of dark circles. I'll use two colors. I'll use the orange one for my dark circles, and And I use the green ones for anywhere where I have like a bit of rosacea or red areas. On a color wheel, so you want to use the colors that are opposite of each other. Green to the red and orange to the purple, which are my eye bags obviously. So I'll start with the orange, and you will see how it will be able to cancel the underlying color of my skin. So you can kind of already see that with adding orange to my underbags, it cancels out the purple undertone, and therefore when I put a concealer on top, it's going to be able to conceal the color a lot more. And then with the green, I'm going to go with under my nostrils. That's where I got a lot of that redness, and also on the pimple scars and some areas around my face where I can see there's redness, and under the chin, above the eyebrows. So I'll go in with my concealer now and go to the main areas on my face. Under my eyes, under my nose, my T-zone, and I find personally that I like to use my fingers because the warmth of my fingers just tends to distribute the product a lot better than a brush or a sponge. And I don't like to drag my finger around because I just don't want to drag the product across my skin. So I kind of do like a tap, 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 tap motion, just like that, to blend in the product. I probably will go with a bit of mascara just to clean up my eyes. So now, do some brows. Quite fun to do. So, I kind of just shape and outline my brow. Pretty straightforward. Because my brows can be a bit sparse, what I like to do is I'll just fill in with the color. Cool. And then comes my favorite part of the routine, which is blush. Blush, I love blush. Get a little bit of blush lightness, but I'll go in with two products. So I'll go in with a cream product first, so MK Beauty cream, and then I'll go on top with a powder blush. And with the cream blush, I again like to use my hands because it just melts the product and applies it in a more smooth way. And then with the powder blush, I will use a powder blush. Sorry, a powder blush, I will use a powder brush. Oh my god. Tapping off excess product and just going on top of what I already put in the cream blush. This technique will just help lock in the color. Powder that goes on top of cream. And you always want to use cream before you use powder. So using again circular motions to blend it out. And then I'll go in with a contour, just to contour my nose. I'll use a contour brush, a brush that's angled a little bit, but also still fluffy to contour my nose. So I'll go in with the dark color, just to create a bridge. Just taking from the brow down to the nose. And then also just under the nose. Just to quite a bit of shade. And then with a tippy brush, so more of a sharp tip, I'll go in with the highlighter highlight my nose and my eyes. As well as the corner of my eyes, just